Hey there, Crashbang here, and we are going to go not check on my bees like I was talking about last episode because they're still processing. I do not have a heroic princess yet, but sometimes it takes time. The good news is with that automated, I can literally just let it sit and check on it every now and then instead. But what we're going to do now is, oh, I love that sound. Cicadas are awesome. There we go. Cicada. I got that from the Twilight Forest, and that's where we are headed today. I did some exploring, found a spot out in the middle of nowhere, and set up a quarry. So let's go and check that out. Alright, here's my linking book room with... well, this is fun just because locations in the Nether correspond with locations in the main world. So I died right outside my house, and this is really close to spawn. So this is showing me where I died. That amuses me greatly. But in any case, we've got all these different linking books to various places in a variety of worlds. And this one is my automated mine, which still could use some work. But for now, it is what it is. Alright, so let's check out this way. Oh, and it's going strong. Check that out. Okay, so all of this I did not build. This right here is built by the quarry when you turn it on. It is powered, in this case I'm powering it with two Stirling engines, as you can see here. I'm powering them with blocks of coal coke, which it takes a little work to make them, but it's very fuel efficient. You can pack a lot of punch in a very little package with blocks of coal coke. And in addition to making them, not only are they efficient, but you get creosote, which you can burn in biogas engines as well. Here's that void pipe that I talked about before, and this is currently set up with a diamond pipe so that any dirt or cobblestone that it digs up are going to go right into this. And well, these I put in the beginning. I always keep some dirt and cobblestone with me when I'm setting this up and moving it from place to place, because you need a block of something in order to tell it to use it or filter it. So that's why these are here. I put them there myself. But the rest of this was... oh, it killed a slime. But the rest of this was all mined up with the quarry. And so let's take all these goodies. Lots of sticks. Okay. I got all my goodies out of my obsidian chest. And that's just going to keep on going. Oop. See a big slime over there. Nah, he's not hurting anyone. My ugly little shack here. Let's go back, and I'll show you how I made the quarry. Okay, so to make a quarry, it's a single block. There we go, a quarry. And it's fairly expensive because it's going to take, well, iron gears. All of these gears are based off of iron gears. So you actually have to make 7 iron gears. And 4 of them you turn into gold gears. And then 2 of them again you turn into diamond gears. So that right there is 8, 9, 10, 11 diamonds just to make the quarry itself. It takes a bit of effort to get the resources to make one, but once you have one made, you plop it down, you tell it to start running, you put a pipe on the outside to have your output go into some type of chest, and it'll just keep going. The best part is, now you may be aware that the way Minecraft works, the entire world is divided into chunks, and when you are running around playing the game, if you leave an area, that chunk goes dormant. It stops doing whatever it's doing. So, well, I left the Twilight Kingdom. That chunk is done, right? That quarry's going to stop? No, the quarry includes its own chunk loader. So basically, it's like someone's gone AFK standing right next to the quarry, and that chunk will stay loaded the entire time it's working until it's out of fuel or it's done. So I can set that up and have it mine to my heart's content. And when it's all done, I go back and check on it, take all the resources, do any sorting I need to do, refuel it if I need to refuel it, which I usually don't, and I'm good to go. I don't need to have any mines in this world anymore because I've got the Twilight Kingdom, which is a little more resource heavy compared to ratios of dirt, stone, and cobble. Was that something flashing over there? I think it was. Let's go check on that. So I get a few more resources out of the Twilight Kingdom. No, not Twilight Kingdom. I get a few more resources out of the Twilight Forest than I do out of this world, and it keeps this world looking pretty. So I don't have to worry about that anymore, which is kind of nice. I saw something over here. Was it you? Probably wasn't. Okay. So, let's head back. Oh, you might be wondering about why I died out there. Well, that was right after I made my power armor. I saw that power armor was useless without mods. It pretty much tells you that. It says your energy is 0 out of 0 when you first make them. So you're pretty much stuck until you start adding mods. Well, one of the first mods I added after the whole, okay, let's add some capacitors thing, was a mod to let me jump higher. Because I've been watching a lot of Direwolf20's videos, and in them he's always jumping around and talking the entire time. Instead of just having a conversation with his friends, he's jumping up and down and back and forth and left and right and all over his base, and all over other people's bases, and he just keeps doing this, and I thought, wow, that's kind of fun. I'd like to do that too. So, I set them up, I turned them on, I wound them up to not really be a high jump. I figured, well, I want to make sure I don't take falling damage, and I went out my front door right here, and I jumped just like this, and I fell from a high place and died instantly. So that was kind of fun, except for the whole dying thing, but I may have been laughing out loud for that. Now, there is a way around that. Let's see. Now, the mod that I added to have me jump, no, not swim boost, jump assist, and I didn't have it turned all the way up before. I have it turned all the way up now. Not turned up all the way was what killed me. So having it turned up this high, I would definitely die from hitting the ground. The way I got around that was I added a different mod to my boots. I added this mod here, the shock absorber, which I have turned the power up all the way in that. I could turn it down. It would use less energy if I want to nitpick and make sure I don't use a lot of energy and I don't have to charge my suit as often. But I really want to make sure I don't take any fall damage. So with it turned up all the way, yes, it does use up energy, but my distance reduction for damage is 100%. I could pretty much fall anywhere except out of the world or into lava, and I would be fine. So that is really beneficial. Next mods I add will probably be either armor, which I added armor. Diamond plating is not cheap. It is 5 diamonds per diamond plate. So I've got a ways to go before I feel comfortable using up all those diamonds to add it to the rest of this. But probably the next stuff I'm going to be adding will be not jump boots or jet boots, because I already have jump assist, so probably won't spend money on that, or spend resources on that rather. It'll probably be either the jetpack or the glider. I haven't looked up what these cost yet, so glider wing and ion thruster. What do those cost? So let's take a look. So a glider wing, and I'd need 2 of those, would be carbon plate, solenoids I know how to make, or hardened glass. Oh, I can make that, and I've got a ton of lead and obsidian. So, that's relatively inexpensive so far as things go. And what was that other one? Ion something. Oh, everything starts with ion apparently, or has ion in the name. There we go. That looks like the right icon. Ion thruster. That's a little more expensive. The wiring I can do, the invar ingots I had to figure out how to make earlier. Glowstone dust, so trip to the nether. Although, it used to be, now not so much in this version of Feed the Beast, but the last one I was playing, I would get glowstone dust while mining stuff in the Twilight Forest. So maybe I'll get lucky and get some there. And a force field emitter, which unattuned tesseract. I need to put that in. I'm making glider wings first. This is going to take a while, so I'll make a glider instead. Alright, so I am going to get going. It's looking like it's about time to take a nap. And when I wake up, I'm going to sort through this stuff, and I will see you later. We're back. And it really hasn't been that long, but check it out. I already have a Heroic Queen. Now, this Heroic Queen might be a hybrid, and there is a way to find that out. Let me get my Bealizer. And this is something that you have to use a carpenter to make, if I remember correctly, but it's not that resource intensive. It's fairly easy to do. So we put this in, and inactive heroic, it is a pure breed Heroic Queen already. That's pretty cool. That's awesome, actually. That is really, really good. Okay, so I have a Heroic Queen ready to go, who is perhaps not the fastest, but the lifespan is normal, as good as I can ask for. And I'm just going to leave this here. It's going to stay active pretty much as long as this is set up. Every time it gets used up, it should end up just getting thrown right back in. Now, where we're running into a problem is all of my drones that came out were Meadows drones. So I need to throw in another one of these. And this guy has a normal life. Let's put that in there. And hopefully next time I'm going to get, since that's a pure breed heroic drone, and that's a pure breed heroic queen, hopefully I'm just going to get heroic drones out of this from now on that'll be cycling through. So that's just going to stay active forever. And in theory, if what I'm thinking is correct, that also means that any mobs that come this way will end up getting attacked by the heroic bees. So I can take these other apiaries, which all have heroic bees in them also, although some of them are not quite as automated, as you can see, and set them up in various places so long as it is a forest biome, which most of my home compound has been built on a forest biome. Then they will hang out and keep myself and my wife somewhat relatively safe, I hope. Or at the very least, they will weaken the mobs that are running around, and we won't have to worry about things so much. So that's all for this little update, and I'll see you again later. And we're back. And over here is my coke furnace. I really can't remember if I showed you this before or not. This is the first multi-block structure or machine that I made. Excuse me. And this is pretty cool. You have to make it so it's hollow on the inside. But let's take a look at this. There we go. You make it out of coke oven brick, which is regular brick and sand combined. Or apparently if you have sandy brick, you can combine that with sand. And that will make this. Now this one block, you're going to have to make a bunch of them. You have to make a base that's 3 by 3. So basically it's going to look like the top of this. And then you make a wall around the outside with nothing in the middle. And then on top of that you do another 3 by 3 all over the place. And as soon as you're done, as soon as you put that last block in place, a little window appears here. And if you right click anywhere on this, it counts as one block and it shows you the coke oven. Now, as you can see here, it's taking coal. The coal is its own fuel, and it's what it's changing. So you don't need to do anything else to get this to work. And as this gets burned, it gets turned into coal coke, which will appear here. And over here, you'll get creosote oil. Now the creosote oil, I have a redstone engine pumping that out into this big glass tank that goes down quite a ways. It's actually I forget how many blocks down it goes, but the last time I added to it, I dug down and added 7 to it underneath, and it was already pretty big then. And I've still filled this up to the top on occasion. So I had to do something with that creosote oil. I found out that you can use creosote oil as is in a biogas engine. So I have another redstone engine here, which I have turned off briefly, and that pumps it out over in here. Let's take a look at this. And it's powering 3 biogas engines, which still have a bunch of a reservoir, so I just turned it off, and these are going to keep going for a while. So these 3 are powering mostly, well, I've got 3 things here. I originally set this up to power my automated tree farm, which I'll talk about that in another episode probably. It looks like I need to add some more dirt. Let's throw some more dirt in there. Okay. And that makes plenty of apples and logs and tree saplings for a variety of purposes. And over here I've got a squeezer going on, which again I need to refill because you can't make seed oil out of barley seeds. This makes the seed oil that I've been using in this carpenter here. I can use this to make apiary, apiaries rather, with their impregnated casings. You need seed oil for that. I've been making impregnated sticks because these, if I go over to this workbench here, there we go, my work table, I can take impregnated sticks and string to make impregnated frames, which I can put in my apiaries. And if I remember correctly, I think that increases the yield of honeycomb, but I need to look that up again to be certain. Now, I also came over here to talk about the coal coke, because you may remember in a previous episode I was powering my quarry with blocks of coal coke. Coal coke is, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the result of putting coal into a coke furnace. And if you take 7 of them, you can combine, you can take 9 coal coke, and you combine them into a block of coal coke. And this burns for a really, really long time, where you get, I don't remember exactly what you get from, it's not even showing me the tooltips for this, unfortunately. Oh, I know why it's not showing me the tooltips. Let's try it this way. Okay, so regular coal and charcoal produce 4,000 energy units, or EU, total. It'll produce it at 10 EU per tick, in a generator at least, but after 4,000 it's done. Coal coke will produce 16,000 at the same rate, but that's a lot more. If you combine that into a block of coal coke, you get 144,000, which, since this can be in a stack of 64, it's a lot more than you can get from a stack of this by a long shot. So instead of worrying about hoppers or anything, you just turn this into a stack and you're good. And ash clouds, so light and fluffy. Whatever. I do not use ash clouds right now. Now, if you don't have a lot of coal, you can still use a coke furnace. Are these trees that big? Oh, never mind. If you take the sugar over there, and you basically you take sugar and you put it in. Is my server crashing? Probably. And we're back. A little bit of a server mishap, but oh well. So the question is, what if you don't have a lot of coal? What if you just haven't managed to mine a whole bunch? Well, there's a way around that. All you gotta do is take some of this stuff, which is why I have so much of it planted. It's not just for books anymore. Alright, so take sugar cane and you put it in your in your crafting table and you make sugar out of it. You take that sugar and you put it in any kind of furnace. It could be an old style stone furnace if you want it to be. It's all good. I tend to use an electric furnace myself, but whatever floats your boat, whatever works. Now that will make sugar coke. I'm sorry, not sugar coke, sugar charcoal. This stuff here, sugar charcoal, which is not nearly as efficient as coal even, but it'll burn. Now you take that and throw it in a coke furnace, you will get sugar coke, which again, not nearly as useful as coal, but what you can do then is you can take 8 of them, and I have the recipe actually set up over here still. And here we go. Oh, here actually. So, I can take 8 sugar coke and combine them into 1 coal coke, which I can then combine into blocks of coal coke. It is not as efficient to make as just finding coal, but in a pinch it works, and you can still use this to make creosote oil, which is beneficial. Now work tables are awesome because they remember previously used recipes. Each of these things that's here is here because I made it using this work table. Otherwise it works just like a crafting bench with extra storage. So I've got all the sugar coke I just added. I'm going to click on the recipe for coal coke. I'm going to shift click on this. Pow, it just made all of it that it can make. And then, well, I've got a bunch of this. I'm going to click on the block of coal coke. I'm going to shift click. Pow, it just made all the blocks I could make. So if there's a lot of things that you're making frequently that are more complex than just throw 4 of them into a crafting window, this is very, very useful to make a work table. And work tables are very easy to make. You can make them very early on in the game. Where are you? There's my work table. Okay, so it's a book, crafting table, and a chest. That's all you need. So the first cow you kill, if it gives you leather, you can make a work table with built-in storage, and it remembers, I guess that's why you have the book there, it remembers the last few recipes you made. Now if you use the same work table for everything, it is going to eventually forget all these and replace them with other recipes. So I tend to have a bunch of work tables all over the place for various needs and locations. And I am going to get going now because there's obviously something wrong with my router and I need to take care of that. So until next time, have fun.